Hello and welcome to the My Football Writer YouTube channel. I'm Henry and it's just me today, and I'm joined with two very, very special guests indeed. I'm joined by Kevin Goodings and Billy Pointer. Guys, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for coming.
Hi Henry, thanks for inviting us.
No worries. So I'll just start at the obvious point. Your new book, Canary Threads. Kevin, tell us how this book came to be.
Sure. Well, I guess really it started out of a desire to raise some money for the CSF. And I guess the reason why I kind of felt like raising some money for the CSF was because they had been particularly helpful with my young lad who'd been struggling with school. And one of the ways we kind of helped him deal with some of his struggles was by signing them up onto one of their football courses. And it's been brilliant. Again, sport, I think, has been shown to be very, very positive for mental health and just for your ability to cope and do things. And we actually saw the regular attendance and playing football at the courses organised by the CSF to be quite transformational to the experience my lad was going through at that time. And I think when you see it firsthand, it's very powerful, and it was quite a strong motivator then to try and do something. So when I was kind of thinking about doing something, I quickly discounted the idea of doing a sponsored marathon or something like that, because clearly those days are well and truly over for me. And it just felt like there was an opportunity to do a book about football shirts, and particularly Norwich football shirts. And I've seen a few books written for other clubs, and it just felt like there was an opportunity perhaps to do something. I've got a few shirts I've picked up over the years myself, but I'm also lucky enough to know Billy a little bit, and Billy's obviously got this kind of absolutely enormous collection of shirts, and it just felt probably between us we could put a very comprehensive book together that provided a pretty stunning selection of Norwich shirts for people to see and enjoy. So that's kind of where it's come from.
Yeah. So when you sort of first had the idea, did you go straight to Billy first? Because obviously I'd say Billy's probably the most well-known shirt collector as a Norwich City fan. So the minute you had the idea, did you know that you wanted Billy to get involved?
Well, I think Billy would be high on the list, I think, for anybody who was going to do a book about Norwich shirts for obvious reasons. So I think really once the idea started to take shape, and again, I was pretty keen to try and get shirts that covered some of the best moments that Norwich have experienced over the last 50, 60 years or so. It really meant then trying to put together shirts from, say, the Wembley finals. Obviously, I knew Billy had that great Milk Cup final shirt, so just out of the desire to try and get the high points covered, Billy was an obvious go-to to try and involve. Also quite lucky in that Wes Houlihan just lives down the street from me. So again, Wes was also very willing to lend his shirt from the Championship playoff final in 2015. So actually between us, what we've managed to do is really cover, all the major finals that Norwich have been involved in at Wembley, as well as UEFA Cup games and FA Cup semi-finals and promotions and all sorts of wonderful occasions and moments in the club's history. And I think it's that power of putting them all together that probably makes the book so appealing.
Yeah. So how was it approaching Wes? You said he lives a couple of doors down from you. Did you simply just knock on his door and just ask him if he could help, and if he had any shirts he'd be willing to sort of donate to the cause?
Effectively. I mean, Wes, as I'm sure if anyone who's ever met Wes will know, he's very friendly and very keen to help. And I was very specific in terms of asking if he still had his shirt from the playoff final, and lucky enough he did. And he was very happy just to loan it to us to get it photographed. And he's had a copy of the book. He loves the book. Very pleased with how things have turned out. And it's just nice to get that selection of shirts from all the major moments. I think together it's pretty special. And Billy, you probably remember we had a bit of a day, didn't we, when we were photographing everything? It was quite a moment to think, gosh, we've got so many moments in the club's history all present in one room. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah, it gave you goosebumps on your body. It was such a surreal moment because you don't ever think that you're ever going to see certain shirts again, but to see them all in one room was very, very special.
Yes.
Yeah, I imagine for a collector like yourself, Billy, that must have been such a huge moment. But sort of going back onto the theme of the book, it's sort of picking out the key moments of Norwich City history. If you could pick out 5 shirts that define Norwich City from your collection, what would they be?
Well, how should we do this between us, Billy? Do you want to do a couple and I'll do a couple, perhaps, and then we'll all go argue over number 5?
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, I think if you're going for historical high points, I mean, you've got to pick at least one of the shirts from the UEFA Cup run in '93. I mean, that's certainly probably as good as it gets as a Norwich fan. You know, beating Bayern Munich in particular. So I would say definitely one of those would be up there. Billy, do you want to pick another one?
Yeah, my Milk Cup final shirt is a very special one because that's the final we won, so it's quite special to me and for a lot of Norwich fans who was there, including my dad and my granddad.
Yeah, that's a really good, really good one. I mean, obviously the championship final, playoff final, 2015 Wes's shirt. Again, I think for so many Norwich fans to go to Wembley after such a long gap between the Milk Cup final and that particular day, it was pretty amazing. And obviously they played so well. Couldn't have been better really in terms of how the game started and just how it unfolded. So I think to win 2-0 at Wembley, get back to the Premier League. Again, that's absolutely got to be up there as one of the highlights. Billy, do you want to pick the next one?
Yeah, it'll be my Max Briggs 71, 72 with the original Canary on a Stick badge, which obviously a lot of Norwich fans haven't seen in person. So when I display it or it's in the book, for some people it's the first time they've seen that crest for themselves. Yeah.
Again, I mean, the older shirts are just wonderful, aren't they, Billy? Absolutely, very special. If I were to pick the 5th one, I'd probably go with the Martin Peters shirt from 1978, the kind of Admiral style of shirts that Norwich wore at the time. Again, when I was a kid, he was the captain of the team. He was the absolute, player that everybody regarded as a legend. Obviously, done so well with England winning the World Cup. I would say that's probably a highlight. I doubt Norwich will ever have a World Cup winner play for them again. So they were sort of special times, really, and probably for me, where my love of football and my love of Norwich probably really started. So they're 5 good ones, but we could probably talk all night, Billy, couldn't we, about shirts?
Yeah, you're definitely right. So many special memories sort of encapsulates all of our shirts, really. But is there, Billy, you were speaking to me off air and saying that you've got sort of a whole collection of shirts all the way back from the 70s to present day. You don't miss a shirt. Every single variant you can get, you will get. Is there a shirt that you haven't liked, but you've still got anyway to be a completionist?
Oh yeah, it doesn't matter even if I don't like it. You have to have it, like you said, to be a completionist. So that just goes out the window. You just have to, even if it's a shirt we've never won in. Every time we played in it, we've lost. It doesn't matter because for that reason alone, when you then bring it back out of the collection to show people, it's a talking point. So even if it's a bad shirt, it's still a good talking point for a collection.
Yeah, and Billy, you've obviously got quite a big social media following. How sort of keen are you to just show off your collection at any given opportunity? Because like you were saying there, you've got so many shirts. I bet it's something you spent your whole life on, and you must be so proud of it.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. And every time I share stuff, the interaction I get from Norwich fans and even other football fans and collectors, they all enjoy what I do as well. So that brings it to that bit more special because they shouldn't be locked away in a cupboard. They need to be seen, enjoyed, and relive the nostalgia, the history, the good, the bad.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I did want to touch on as well is this Poppy Day event that's happening at the Forum in early November. So Billy, you're going to be there along with On the Stall City. On the Stall City, they're selling copies of Canary Threads as well. What do events like this mean for the Norwich fan base to go and not only get their classic shirts, but get basically spoil in terms of Norwich City merchandise? What does it mean to have events like that?
It's really special, and we need more of them, because Norwich fans like to go and experience these events, see them and talk to people, and they relive their own nostalgia from when they see certain shirts or see ex-players and etc. But these events should be more often, I think, from the club or from other fan groups.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, finally, Kevin, you've obviously got a taste now of being that author and releasing your own book with brilliant reviews from Norwich City fans. Where's next for you? Are you eager to continue on this success and release even more books?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think probably still need to focus on selling the last copies of this one, which obviously we've got Christmas coming up, so it's a good opportunity perhaps to sell the final copies. I think looking forward, it would be great to do another one. There are certainly another 50 stories we can tell around some other shirts that Norwich have worn in the past, and I think it's probably a case of maybe next year sitting down and just having a little bit of a think about what the next book could cover in terms of the different stories, because this one's very focused on if you like all the high points of the recent history, and perhaps the most obvious moments that the club have experienced. I think maybe the next one could take a slightly broader direction, maybe look at some of the more obscure designs or players or shirts. So there's plenty of scope for more, absolutely. And I think as Billy has mentioned, that there's a really good appetite for the historical side of the club's history in terms of what's happened in the past. And I think the more that can be created to share some of that history, the better, really.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Just quickly, Billy, the Poppy Day event, where can people go if they want to get tickets?
There's no tickets. It's a free entry event. It's at the Forum, Norwich, Sunday, the 3rd November, 10 till 4.
Perfect. So, yeah, make sure you get yourself down on Sunday, the 3rd of November to the Forum. Such a brilliant event. I'll be there for sure. So I'll see you guys there. But yeah, Kevin, Billy, thank you so much. Brilliant guests today. And yeah, if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the My Football Writer YouTube channel, please do. We're so close to 2,000 subscribers now. So yeah, every little helps. It does help the channel. It does help us. But I've been Henry. I've really enjoyed today. And yeah, thank you and see you soon.
Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks, Henry.